So it's the morning. I snuck down into this field. And on my way down from camp, it rained all last night. It's raining a little bit this morning. But on my way down, I noticed there was fresh. There's fresh foot tracks in the dirt. So I got down the trail a little bit, and there's a guy, an older gentleman, sitting there with a recurve. And I said, "Hey, you're more than welcome to come down here and hunt with me." So I brought him down, and I put him up on the other side. He's sitting over there towards the front, because that's the way they've been coming out. The last 2 mornings they've been walking around out through there, so hopefully he could get a shot. It'd be wicked. Kill him with a recurve down here. It's his first time. And I also brought him along too because I wanted to come down here and hunt, and he was sitting up on the bank. I didn't want him to, come busting down through here. So I made him aware of what was going on, that elk movement. And I put him up over there. And then we're going to wait a few hours, and he's going to go on his own way. He's going to go on over top of this hill and on to the next side. And I told him where some more elk were over there. And then after a few hours, I'm going to go back up and get Kirk and Tyler. Make a new game plan. Hopefully I got a good wind. It's blowing back up towards camp, which is complete opposite of the way they've been coming. So hopefully they come back strolling through here. It'd be awesome. Game on. Got a bugle. I can't promise any good video because I'm down here by myself, and I'm not going to ruin a chance on a nice bull dragon video. I'll video and get the best that I can. Sat down here and watched this opening for 2.5 hours, and this bull is bugling, and he sounds like he's kind of coming up this mountain, this hill to my right, but down in the front. And my wind right now is coming across my left. It was going to my right, so I wanted to get up above and try to sneak down on them. Give it a try. At least get up there and spot where they are and make another game plan. This wind is all, I'm not willing if I get up on that hill. I have a steady wind down here, and this bottom is whirling around a little bit. once I get in close, he bugles, I'm gonna bugle back and try to piss him off. Okay, so here's the game plan. That's where I was sitting this morning. Our camp is up here. Okay. So I'm climbing this mountain right now. And I got up to where I want to be. Now I'm going to sneak around through here and still hunt these big benches right here and get above this big bench right there. I think that's where they're headed. Look at that rub. I think I might have found where he's staying. There's rubs everywhere up here. Trails all over the place. And it smells like elk. I just gotta be quiet and ease my way and play the wind. And I should be able to sneak right up on them if they're down this point.
I was right. Unfortunately for me, I couldn't get a shot. I snuck in perfectly where I thought he would be. I took my time, played the wind, and got to within 20 yards of him. However, I had no idea he was there. I was stopped, looking around, and glassing as far as I could see through the trees with my binoculars, when all of a sudden a squirrel went up a dead tree below me and started barking at me. And then it happened. He popped up out of his bed on the other side of that dead tree and took off, breaking every branch in his way with his massive antlers. I was so close, and that moment will forever haunt me. I was stunned and in shock at what had happened. I should have immediately started cow calling and bugling at him. I thought it was better late than never and went through a little sequence and acted like I was raking and rubbing a tree. It was worth a shot.
from the start. Got down in the field. They didn't come out, but I could hear one bugling. So I looked on Onyx, and I saw a couple benches up on this ridge, on this mountain, on the other side of from where camp's at. So I thought that I could get up above because the wind was going up and sneak down to those benches. So that's what I did. I went up and I worked my way super slow, and I got to the point where I was on the ridge line, but the wind was coming up over top from that side, so I had to drop down some. For the most part, the wind was kind of coming back to my left. I'd sneak all the way down there, all kinds of sign, rubs everywhere. You could smell them. I get to this one spot, and I go around this big dead tree. I go up, and I come down a little bit, and I stop, because the squirrel started just barking at me, going crazy. So I'm sitting there watching it climb up the tree, just screaming at me. And then all of a sudden, and that right on the other side of that tree, it was so thick you couldn't see through it. Big tree, a lot of pine trees around. I just saw his horns come flying up and taking off, just beating and breaking every branch. It was wild. He was less than 20 yards, but I could not see him at all. I was watching that freaking squirrel, and you couldn't even see him bedded down right there from where I was at. Just when he stood up, all you could see was his horns, yellow, bright yellow horns, just barreling down through there. And I freaked out, I paused, and then once we got a little ways down, I realized, I need to call, so I cow called, then I bugled, screamed at him, chuckled, broke some branches, and I just waited there for a little while, kind of let it settle down. He didn't come back, so I popped up over top, went down on the back side, circled all the way back around. Now I'm going back up to camp, get some lunch, and eat more breakfast because I didn't really eat that much this morning. But that is where he's staying, for sure. I just hope I didn't blow him clear out of this drainage, but I don't think I did. I think he just ran down, probably because I was clear up top, he's clear up top. I say he just ran down a few flats, bedded back down, or went up top of the drainage, or he could have went around the front side, but I'm not too sure. I'm just gonna let it settle down, and I think I'm gonna come back down to this field this evening, put up a decoy, and get Tyler and Kirk down here, and we'll just sit around the field and just cow call. Try to bring him down in. Man, it's a bummer. That close to him, so close. Didn't even know he was there. I don't know, he must have got a whiff of me, because I was standing still when he popped up and took off. He just must have smelled me. Man, that's so close. It's gonna keep on. Get another chance. Gotta make room for another chance. Gotta get after it. Can't just pout and stay at camp. Gotta get back down in here. Got a few days left. And a big bull to chase after. He is huge. That just drilled into my mind, my eyes, just him jumping up and taking off. There's nothing I can do about it either. They're not rutting, they're not active. He just was barely bugling. He moved up, so he was going to bed. So I thought I could sneak down in there. It worked perfect. I went right to him too. Exactly where I thought they were going to be, he was right there. Just the spot he was in, I just could not see him at all. Made it back just in time. Big thunderstorm. And I get to eat breakfast.
Might make for a good evening hunt. Elk low right now. May get active later. Cold today. Cooled way off. This morning, 3 bugles. Then I got in on that bull less than 20 yards and didn't know he was there. He busted out. He made me sick, but can't let that get you down. Yeah, keep after it. These are awesome. They have different flavors. I definitely recommend putting these in your food pack. Alright, I'm gonna cut the camera, this is boring. It's hailing. Or snowing, I can't tell. Looks like hail. No worries, I soon realized I shouldn't be holding on to my trekking pole. Holy shit! It's cold. I hope this passes over soon. Kurt, I don't know where Kurt's at. I hope he's okay. I hope he got some shelter. Because this is nuts. Well, we survived.
Barely.
We survived a 2 hour and 40 minute freaking wind storm, thunderstorm, hailstorm,
Rain.
rain, everything they threw at us. We was a little worried, but we're here, and temperature cooled way down. The elk, they're gonna be active. Maybe I can take a nap now. That's what I wanted to do, but I got in the tent and it started. Thought I was going to blow off the mountain, so I didn't take a nap. I was scared because I didn't know Kirk was back yet, so I thought he was hunkered down.
After about an hour, I tried to lay my head down, and every time I did, I'd peek out that hole in your tent. I could see inside of it. I'm like, oh God, it's going to go off the equation.
I thought I was gone.
What would you guys have said if I would have fucking been out there in this?
I'd have been giving you all my clothes when you got back, trying to warm you up.
I know, but you guys, that made me fucking hungry.
As soon as I got up here, I had granola this morning, and I've been running around, and I had to crap really bad, and then I was really hungry, so when I got up here, I got in the tent and started eating. And I was gonna cook some stuff, and then this started, and I was like, I'm not gonna cook anything.
Yeah,
So I just started eating stuff.
I planned on eating my lunch out there.
I just packed in light. Hell, I just took my bow and a few things.
I do not want to
And a
do
water
that again.
bottle.
Tyler and I are going down for an evening sit on this field. You ready, Tyler?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna put up a decoy and just cow call back and forth. Hopefully they move in there because it's been a pretty rough day with the storms. So right now they should, once the sun goes down, I figure, with it being this cool now, to get up and start moving around. That's the plan. Here's the setup. Tyler's up that way, and I got a decoy up that way. Just hoping they come out here and move across this field.
After having the camera rolling for a while down in this field, I decided to turn it off to save some battery, and then planned on turning it back on when it got closer to dark or we had some action. However, just moments after I turned it off, I looked up and the cow elk was staring at me. I rangered 62 yards and then proceeded to grab my bow and get ready for her and whatever else was with her because I saw movement behind her. She had me spotted, and I did not want to lean forward and turn the camera on and risk blowing this opportunity. She walked in front of me at 35 yards and over towards Tyler. The rest is history.
Tyler just smoked that cow. Smoked her. You smoked her. I had her at 35 yards, 42 yards. I was let her to come. I was going to take the second one and knew this one. What did you shoot her at? I put my 40 pin on her. She was... I hit her back. No. It come right out of her left shoulder. Right behind her left shoulder. Did it smoke her? Yes. You freaking smoked her. I didn't have my camera on though because they come in. Yes. It worked. The cow party worked.
Hell yeah, did it come out?
Yeah.
Did it come out good?
It come out the other side.
I hit my bow on this when I drew back. She was right behind this tree.
She's looking at me. Dude, it worked out perfect. She was 35 yards at one point, and I was just waiting to draw back. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let that one go. The other one was following. As soon as I got to draw back on the other one, it turned, and it went back the other way. So I'm like, okay, but she was to my right, the one you shot, and she started to turn, and there was a window. I was getting ready to draw back, and I hear, whack!
She was quartering. I hit her back. It's a good shot.
Dude, it's a good shot. She, when you shot and hit, she stumbled forward, and she ran right over into there. She's probably laying right over into there. Hell yeah, man. Oh, man, I had my camera rolling because I thought I heard a bull down behind me. As soon as I started, it was going, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. I think it was a bull down there. Did you hear that bugle up on top, though? You didn't hear the bugle? What time is it?
I didn't even
couldn't see him. I was looking like, these squirrels are driving me nuts. And I look over and I said, oh my God, there's an elk standing right in front of Hunter. Yeah, right in front of me. I watched him walk out. I saw the legs. She was looking at me, but there was a branch in the way. So I ranged everything over there. I knew where everything was at. I set my pin at 40, which was perfect.
I think she was about 45.
But I was in the open in front of that tree sitting down, and she kept looking at me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to let her go. I'm going to let her go. She's walking your way. I'll take the second one. And then it turned. I was like, okay. If this one turns to come back, I'll shoot it, because I don't know how far you were. It sounded like you were farther.
That was not calling.
What? It's fine. It's good. Dude, we just called 2 elk in. It's perfect. I looked over there. She was right behind that tree. And I was like, oh, shit. Dude, you have no idea. When I heard you shoot and I saw that arrow go through that cow.
Did it smoke her?
You went through her. It was in her, but it was coming out the other side. Dude, that made me so happy, because I dropped my bow and I grabbed my camera and turned it on.
I shot her and she ran off and I'm like, oh shit, cow call.
Yeah, I didn't. You started cow calling, then I'm like, oh, okay, cow call. I jumped up, started running. Oh, that's awesome.
That tree right there was 30, and she was right out here when I shot her. She was probably 40.
Do you want to grab your stuff and we'll set it down where she was at when you shot her? I'll be over there. I'll wait on you. Yes. That's the only reason they came up here, is because we were calling. I only saw those 2. There might have been more, but those were the only 2 that come out. Tyler, I'm sitting right over there. There's somewhere around in here. Because I was sitting right there. Right behind that tree. Tyler, stay right here and I'll go over in range. So I'm sitting right here. We had a little cow party. Those 2 cows walked right out here, right in front of me, wide open. But they kept looking at me, so I didn't want to draw back and spook them. This one cleared these trees, and then another one come, and it wasn't looking at me. I was getting ready to draw, and it turned. So I let it go off. I didn't want to take a bad shot. Meanwhile, this one's looking at me still, and it turns right over there where Tyler was. As I'm getting ready to look for a window to get a shot, I hear whack, and that arrow's just sticking outside of that cow. Go to your right. More. Come my way. We weren't even down here an hour.
Yeah, she was right in here.
Here's some fresh tracks.
Walk over this. I'm gonna leave my stuff here. Huh?
See this far?
Yeah. I saw that.
I drew my bow back because you was working up, and that other one that bailed out.
Yeah.
This wind down here is freaking crazy.
It was perfect. It turned and was hitting us when they come in.
See, there's tracks right here.
That area was still in her. It was poking. Yeah, it's definitely hers. Yeah. Okay.
Just some blood coming out of her.
Yeah.
I hit her right here.
She was quartering away though, so it was perfect. You buried it right up in her. It come out right behind her shoulder. But it was a little low, but that's perfect. You don't want to go high. If anything, you want it to be a little lower right there. Where did her tracks go? Right here. She made a beeline, man, just... Look how long her steps are apart. They're here.
I think we ought to give her a little bit.
Okay.
These two elk came in and they passed up. They passed up her like 35 yards. Walked up here. And I was wondering what they were looking at. I was like, oh crap, we got a decoy.
Oh, that was perfect.
It worked perfect. Perfect.
Oh my gosh, that was perfect. The arrow's gonna come out. She might have stopped when you saw her stop. She might have reached back and pulled it out. Over this way. Alright, so this evening we went down, set up on the field, and Tyler shot that cow. And I saw the exit wound. It looked nice. It looked really good, but all we could find was a few tracks, and we lost the tracks. It wasn't bleeding yet because the arrow was stuck in it. So we pulled out, and tomorrow morning we're gonna go down and search for it in daylight because we ran out of light. So we're gonna hunt a little bit down there in that field in the morning, see if we can call some more in, and then after that we're gonna go find that elk.